what they actually are. And I would encourage everybody to read the book or listen to it, The Creature from Jekyll Island. It's by Edward Griffin. Money gets nothing now. And that I feel like it's an interesting subject. We all think that there's a federal, and he said it's not federal, it's not a reserve. And how was that? The Federal Reserve Bank. It's not a bank. It's not federal. It's not a reserve. And that's just the bottom line. It's a cartel, and it's a government cartel agreement that they have. And by printing money out of nothing, they can devaluate our dollar, and which in turn is a secret tax on us. So within the last 3 years, hi Nathan, how you doing? In the last 3 years, we've lost about half our buying power. That's a pretty large sum of our buying power gone. So when you go to the store to buy something, it's almost double what it was 3 years ago. A lot of things. I think oats went up by more than double, and corn pretty much doubled, at least up here. I don't know how you guys are down there, but when we first moved up here, oats were $8 a bag, and now they're $15 a bag. And I believe corn was about $7. It's between 6 and 7, and now it's about $15 a bag too. So price of grain have really increased. And boy, this year, I sure hope that I can try to get my own feed, because it turns out for me the biggest expense on the homestead is chicken, pig food, grain. And I really need to try to focus on growing that myself so I can be self-sufficient. It seems like in this goal of self-sufficiency, that's my biggest, my biggest trouble is to be able to grow my own grains. I think once I get that, my expense or money I have to spend to buy things would go, or I could at least put it towards other things, go down drastically. I don't make a lot, but oh, come on. No, my wife's always complaining I don't make any money. I said, well, the thing is, we have things. We work. We have a family. We can live. We live. Don't have to go to a 9 to 5. We can work on the farm, be with the kids. And I really don't. I don't like working out. There was when I first joined the Amish, I worked for a sawmill. I enjoyed the sawmill, but I much rather work for myself than for somebody else. Well, so how's it going, everybody? Anybody have any questions or anything you want to talk about? Like I said, I've been busy working on the barn, Medina Farms. Good afternoon. Hi, Medina. I've been working on the barn, got the roof on. I started making the hoop house into a frame greenhouse. Oh, hey, Douglas. Douglas is here. I don't know if you ever got my email I sent you. I had written your email back, and I never heard back from you, so I don't know if you got it or not. Sometimes I don't always check my emails. I actually realized I haven't checked it for a few days, so I probably should. Sorry to those. I actually haven't checked it. I should. I've been so busy. Today I was talking with Eli, so I've been busy talking today, but yeah, it's looks like spring. Hopefully spring is here. We don't get more white snow. I think the snow is pretty much gone. We have the northern slopes. The snow is still there, and some of the big heavy the snow banks. I see down by the end of the lane there's a small pile yet, but we're pretty much melted off. The ice is coming out of everything, and it's muddy. Yes, I'm gonna call you sometime. All right, yeah, I do that, Douglas. It's easier for me to talk to people than to write, because I can actually do things while I'm talking. And when I'm writing, I really can't. I can't do much. I just have to sit and write. So I can still talk to somebody while I'm choring or doing something. I can just turn the speaker on and talk on the speaker. Where writing an email, I got to sit down and write it, and it takes me about as long to write emails as it does to write a regular letter, probably even longer, because and spell check always tries to correct my words for the wrong thing, and I have to go back and fix it. I've always said, boys, they say the modern stuff's so much better, but for me, it's harder to use than just a piece of paper. We pulled all the taps out. Maple syrup's over. And it looks like the trees are budding. I suspect we'll see some buds break open within the week. Grass is turning green. I should probably show you guys how it looks out there. Yeah, quite a difference from what it was a week ago. We got lots and lots of seagulls out in our pastures. They're eating the worms. They always, in the spring when the snow melts off, they come and eat the worms out of the fields. And then when you're doing hay in the summertime, they come and get the mice. They never see a mouse, they just come down and get it. Yeah, seagulls, there's quite a lot of them here. I think coming off the lakes. We're close enough to the lake that we get a lot of seagulls. I heard the worms, which means they're shipping again. Shipping lanes will open back up. And lately, the trains have been moving. There's been, I don't know, short night. There's lots and lots of trains you'll hear going down. So they're pretty busy. Shipping them trains and barges. You hear the barge horns. A low pressure day, you can hear them really good. I think it's about 7 miles directly up, miles away. We can still hear it pretty good. Every different sounding horns are all the same. So Nathan, are you in the States now? If you're still here. Yeah, my mom had a stroke. She was, I think it's her third one. She was doing a little better, they said. Walking a bit again. Yes. So how's mom doing? Did you hear? You're working with my parents, aren't you? What's that? Oh, yeah. My mom's not drinking coffee, just so you guys know. Yeah, so Medina Farms, did you go to the auction? Or wait a minute, what was that auction yet? What's today? It was 20th, wasn't it? Yeah, it would have been I was thinking about going, but my money's low enough, and I need to find a riding plow and a number 9 mower. That's basically what I for sure need this year, and I might try for a hay loader if I can find one. But if I can find those two things, I'm pretty good. Heard same as you did and doing better. Okay, she's doing better. That's good. Yeah, the last I had seen they said she was doing a little better than she did before. Yeah, they're quite a ways away from here. They'll do all right. I know it's a little cold yet, but I'll probably hold off on the watermelons and cantaloupes for some bit. I'm suspecting a couple of weeks before we get enough warmth to actually start planting the warmer stuff. And then 1st of June, we'll probably try to plant into the garden. I didn't go. It was raining. Okay, so you're going to the salmon auction. I'd like to go to that, but I just don't know if I can get someone to go take me. It's I have there's a couple people up here that would probably take me if it was the right day. I'm still debating whether or not I'm going to. I have a few people looking for me. My money's a bit low also. Yeah, that's always the problem, ain't it? It seems to, for me, like money's always low, but I always hope I can get a good deal at one of the auctions. I've got a friend down in Tennessee looking for a mower. Down there in that area, there's a lot of mowers and equipment laying around, and he said you can get them usually pretty cheap sometimes. But today, Ailey Glick had a friend, Levi, who was at the Mount Hope sale. A home machinery sale was going on today. And he was looking at a plow maybe to get for me. And it turned out, I guess it was too high, so he didn't get it. I had a price that I was going to pay, and that was it. And I guess it must have gone over that. So no plow yet. Hopefully we'll find a plow and a mower and then be able to plow the garden without hiring somebody. Yeah, the thing is, horses, my walking plow, my horses aren't trained good enough that when I'm working with that plow, trying to keep it in place, I have a lot of roots in my garden from the trees that were there. And I say I hit a root and I'm trying to work with the plow when my horses go crooked. So it's really tricky for me to keep them horses in the line and keep the plow in the line. Now, if I had somebody to drive the horses, I could drive the plow, we'd be doing good. But it's tricky to plow by yourself with a walking plow with roots, and then also horses that aren't 100%, how would you say it, trained to plow? Because neither of my horses had, as far as I know, they weren't. They possibly had been plowed with riding plows, but my thing with the walking plows is I'm still trying to decide. The settlers, the Americans, when they first came in, and all them tree roots in the ground and stumps, did they pull them stumps, or did they just plow around them, or did they just plant around them and then later pull them out? Because we've got so many trees here, so many stumps. I totally feeling that's a bit tough to do alone. Yeah, and my thing is there's so many roots you hit, and it really messes with the plowing. And I'm actually considering this year possibly trying something we did in Belize, and that was we'd stick plant. We'd take a stick and just jab it in the ground, throw some seeds in and cover them, and see if the corn won't do all right in the freshly cut woods, and just plant the rows into the stumps and see if it will come up and do. In Belize, I know that worked. We could do it pretty well, but here I've never tried it. I'm going to give it a try, I think. So I've got a lot of land that's stumpy. I can't afford to buy or hire somebody to take them out. And my horses, sadly, only one horse I could use to do that kind of stuff, and she couldn't handle it. So I'll either I get a better horse, which at this point, for those of you who know, horse prices have gotten quite high, so I can't afford them. I'll probably just, or maybe I should try to make a stump pull mechanism. I had an old book that had a diagram where they took a log and they drilled a hole and put in a 4 foot piece of wood, solid piece of wood into that log piece, and then they would take the chain, hook it to the stump, put it up on top, put it on the piece of wood. So when you pulled, it pulled the stump up because the piece of wood come up and lifted the stump out of the ground. I think maybe if I tried that, there's a possibility I could pull some of these stumps out instead of just letting them rot. They're pine, they'll probably be a few years before they rot. So we'll see what happens. But remember when I helped you plow and bleeds for potatoes? Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm sure glad you did help me plow and bleeds for potatoes, because without you being there, I sure had a time of plowing with those little horses I had. In Belize, I had mostly small horses. They were just like horse size. And it's pretty tough to plow with quarter horse size horses and without someone helping you. I'd say overall, you probably could use any size horse, but your plow would have to be smaller. And, it is hard to find a small plow. All my plows I have now are almost too big for 2 horses. I've got if I could find a 12-inch plow, like I had in Belize, I think I could do quite a better job, because it'd be more manageable. I could get it in better. I could keep it from digging too deep, and it'd just be all better. But so far, I've been unable to locate a 12-inch plow. All my plows are either 14, 16. I have one that's so heavy. I mean, it plows, but it really plows, and it digs. Even with it set at the highest level and with the wheel on it, it wants to dig in. And it would take 3-4 horses to pull that thing properly. I guess those people who have tractors don't quite have that problem, but when you're horse farming, you got to kind of do with what you got. I think what happened is I don't have any grandpa to ask how to make a wooden plow, or I know they used to make wooden plows and put metal on them back in the day, back in time. I thought, well, if I could figure out how to do that, I might be good. But hopefully, before the planting season comes, I'll get plowed. Usually, I just hire somebody, come in with a tractor and plow it. But then I end up having to spend a lot of time working out to pay for it. And if the goal of self-sufficiency is you want to be self-sufficient and grow your own food, and so really, I think it's best I try to do it with horses. Like I said, I might try stake planting. Yeah, so how on the gardens, when it's cool like this, it looks like the grass up so fast it's pretty much turned green everywhere. So it looks like we didn't have a lot of winter kill. Had enough snow on it, kept the ground from the grass from freezing badly. Hopefully in a few weeks we'll have enough grass we want to feed hay. That'd be nice. I got 2 round bells left, so I'm getting down to the bottom of my hay, but we'll hope this warms up and we'll get some grass. I really don't want to have to buy hay, but it's what happens. If you have to buy hay, we'll have to buy it. But so anybody got any questions they want to talk about, or anything they want to talk about? I was thinking, like I said before, I've been thinking a lot about this currency thing going on. It's funny that most of people aren't talking about it. It's probably one of the biggest changes in American history since we went off the gold standard. I mean, they're rolling right into CBDCs and nobody's talking about it. Oh, I had Belgians at that time. I use an 8-inch plow with a bar in any Belgium. Where would you get an 8-inch plow? That'd be nice to have. I used to have a bio plow. Oh, let's see. These messages are going too fast. I wish I could sometimes. Polls easier. What do you pay for round bells here? I actually don't know. I haven't bought any round bells. It was a hillside plow. No, it'd be nice to have an 8-inch plow. That would be one, but you could pull with one horse. And I could actually, that'd be really nice, but I have not been able to locate one. Yesterday and today I was looking online for some. I found one down in Iowa. They want $250 for it. Didn't say the size, but it looked small. It was a small one. I think that would probably work for one horse, but again, it's too far away to go get it. They have to pick up only. And maybe if somebody from down there is coming this way, they could bring it with them. But I don't drive. I don't have my license anymore and don't drive, so I'm not really going anywhere at this point unless someone drives me. Not far. On the Amish community news, the Peter Millers are having their wedding. The girl's gonna get married, so there'll probably be some visitors in the area. Oh, my wife must have fallen asleep. It's Thursday, so I'm suspecting we'll get some visitors up here from other places. Usually on wedding times, people come in, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, I noticed It seems like this year the sandhill cranes, there's so many of them. I mean, every year we've had some, but this year I've seen some days I'll see a couple hundred. They just gather in. They come in their long legs hanging down, land in the pastures. They're big birds. I think they had yesterday was close to 100 of them down behind the barn in the field. That's those sandhill cranes can do a lot of damage to a field of oats or a garden. They come in, they can strip them fields right off. At least this time of year, I think what it is because my place is so much higher. You come here with it's drier. A lot of the places are wet and they're still covering a lot of water. And then my place is on a hill, so it dries out faster than the birds. Birds come in from all over and just sit in those hills, eating worms. So how you guys seen with the birds? Are they coming back pretty strong this year? Where you guys are? I wish this live chat would work so I can see it. Sometimes the chat comes up and sometimes it goes down. How many acres do you farm? Well, on plowing, I probably plow around 3 acres. It's not a whole lot, 3-4 acres. I don't I think my biggest patch is about an acre, and then I have 3 smaller ones. I have about 35 acres hay in the back, and then the front here is just in pasture, mostly pasture, and the rest is woods, a lot of woods. About around 25 acres woods. So we got plenty of woods to make logs out of. I think I got enough logs in there to make a whole barn and a house yet, besides what I'm building now. So I think there's a lot of nice pines in there. Got some popples, but my cedars, I got a bunch of cedar trees, but they're all on the other side of the creek. And the last time I tried to cross that creek, I lost a horse. Got stuck in the creek and couldn't get it out time before we did get it out, but he died afterwards. So I need to either build a bridge or maybe I could I've been hauling rocks in down to the creek trying to get so I can cross it. We got my piece is cut in half by a creek that flows right through the middle of it, and it's sticky. And I think the reason the horse got stuck, he was blind. If he hadn't been blind, he could have got out. I couldn't get him. I couldn't get him off the bank. I tried to lead him up, and every time he come to the bank, he would just back in the water again. And so I went to get help. By the time the help got there, he'd been in so long. I guess he got cold. It was a cool day, and pulled him out. And he didn't live long afterwards. So it was sad. He was an older horse I got for free. It was a blind Persian, but he was a good horse. I'm kind of hoping to let it dry out a bit before I start pulling logs, because whenever I pull logs when it's muddy, I've got enough little stones in the ground that stuck in the bark. It could really mess with the blades. So the best thing for me to do is to wait a bit till it dries out. That way I don't get as much mud stuck on the logs. I don't my blades up so bad. Then whenever you drag them through now in the mud, you're almost bound to hit a stone sometime on the log, unless you clean them all off real good, which it takes a long time to do that. I just hit one small stone and it dings the teeth all up, so then it ruins your cut. You got to change blades. But if I let it dry out a bit, I'll be able to drag them logs through, and won't ruin as many blades. I'm starting to cut trees for the next batch of logs I want to cut for the house. I was cutting my clutch was overheating, so I checked it and the bearing was gone. I don't know what happened to it. The bearing wasn't there. I don't break up and fall out. It wasn't out there to start with. It was a new saw, and I had noticed it overheated some. I couldn't really figure out why. Thought maybe the oil wasn't working properly. And then I was cutting them trees. I noticed it was smoke, so I opened it up, looked at it, took it apart. No bearing inside the clutch. that's not good. It turned the clutch purple. It gotten so hot. It was good and blow up on me. I noticed it was getting so hot, it wouldn't even start. The gas was actually vaporizing the gas before it ever got into the pistons. That's not good. But I think we got it fixed out now. I put a new clutch on, new bearing, and it's running again. Just have to keep an eye on that. Hopefully don't lose another bearing. It's a small thing, but boy, you don't have a bearing in your saw, it can burn the thing up. I guess I honestly hadn't figured to think about the bearing not being there. I just thought it was getting hot. I hadn't thought much of it. Then took it apart. No bearing. I'm slightly wondering if it was missing from the start. But I never thought that much at one time. Just had small batches, never got that. I like the Stihl chainsaws. Over the years, I've tried different kinds, and my favorite is Stihl. I buy the Stihl, the black. There's one I was using for years and years. I bought it used. I've been using it for so long. I think I've actually worn it down to where the compression's about gone. Someone said you can rebuild them, so I'll probably try to have it rebuilt, but it's lost its compression now, and sometimes you can start, sometimes you can't, and it doesn't have much power. I changed the filter, changed the spark plug, pretty much changed all the stuff you could, and it didn't make a difference. So I'm suspecting the thing's wearing out. But that saw's had a lot of use. I used it for most time we've been here, and then I had bought a new one, and that one burned when the house burned. So the one I had was I bought it used, so it was already used when I got it. And I think I used it for 4 years, 5 years, and it's getting to where it's finally wearing out. But I've sawed a lot of logs too. I mean, you can imagine me by myself trying to saw a log with a 2-man saw. You'd be there. Well, you could use one of those other saws too for 1 man, but boy, it would take without a chainsaw, I could spend an hour sawing a log up, a tree into logs, where now it takes me, I can do it in about 5 minutes. So yeah, the chainsaw for me is a real big help on the farm. I mean, I know I try to stay old fashioned, but that's one thing I would say. If you're homesteading, chainsaw really helps with the wood, getting things done faster. For 1 man, I think there's two people on 2-man saw, you can do pretty good. I have a couple of them, but I need to get another guy on the other side. And my wife don't want to do it. She told me yeah, I had always wanted to go just to hand saws, but I'd actually started using chainsaw and Belize, and it really helps when you're by yourself. Come get things done. And yeah, it takes gas, but for the amount of work you can get done with it, I think it's well worth it. Having the chainsaw. I mean, it's nice to have it. If you had a community, some big boys that can help you, I would say, yeah, chainsaw's probably not good. But for me, all the buildings I build and stuff I do, it'd be pretty hard to do without a chainsaw, because it'd take me way too long, or I would say it'd take me a lot longer to get it done. And this way I can actually I can get a good amount of work done in a day. Yeah, I'm gonna keep mine too, Douglas. I don't want to get rid of my crosscutters. In case I can't buy gas, I gotta have something to fall back on. I mean, the time could come we either can't afford gas or can't buy it, and then we have to use our crosscut saws. There was actually 1 year I made all my wood with the axe, not a saw, just an axe, and that was when I was a little younger. But you can do it. I mean, it just takes a lot longer. You just gotta chop all the logs in half instead of saw them. Lots of chips. I mean, once you practice at it, you can cut a log pretty fast with an axe. It's sharp, but it keeps you in shape too, I guess, using the axe. I always said that our ancestors, I think they were in a lot of ways a lot tougher than we are because they worked all harder than we do. I mean, I try to work. I suspect I worked almost just as hard, but maybe in a different way. But I'm still thinking they, with all the land they cleared and all the houses they built with just the hand tools, I'm pretty sure that there was a whole lot more effort into doing than we do today. I mean, the old barn here, it's all the beams are chopped by hand. They use the axe to square them up. So that would have been true. The axe is easier to sharpen than the crosscut saw. They're easy to make too. You can make an axe on a forge on a forge a lot easier than you can make a crosscut saw. I don't know if I'd even attempt to make a crosscut saw. I mean, even back in the pioneer days, crosscut saws weren't that common. I mean, most of the saws that originally came from Europe, and there weren't that many of them. So people used the axe because the axe was you can make it yourself, or the blacksmiths can make it, and you can sharpen it. But a crosscut saw, that's another thing. It's quite a bit of work to make one of them, and it's not easy. I've got 3 of them. I've just got to, like I said, I want to keep them in case I need them. Have any of you guys ever used those new Japanese saws? There's people are selling. I've never used one, but some people say they're really good. Never tried them. I know Canadian Prepper. He's always advertising them. Boy, these cats. These baby cats, they keep messing with my feet every time I'm sitting here. Yeah, same here, Douglas. I like the crosscut saw. It's quiet. You can hear the wood while you're working. With the chainsaw, I got always wear earplugs. And can't hear the birds. Crosscut saw, you woke up? Just wait for my nap. Say hi. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the others might wake up soon, but they were all asleep. You see yourself in there? Is that Anna? You have one of those Japanese saws that cuts on the pole stroke. Okay. So it cuts on the pole stroke, not the push. Yeah, most of the saws I have, the crosscuts, they cut both directions, pull and push. And baby Costa. And these baby cats, we needed to get rid of them. So if somebody wants some cats, we've got cats. They're starting to get to the point where they need to get out of the house, but she had them in here, and now they're kids always playing with them. They're getting bigger, so they need to put them out. But the problem is too many cats out there anyhow. So if anybody needs cats, there's 2 more of them. Yeah, I think right now we got 3 different cats that have babies. 2 outside, 2 of them out have got babies outside, and then this one, she snuck in the house and had us inside, and it was so cold we just let her stay in. And like I said, the kids keeps them busy. Surprised they hadn't killed one yet, but they haven't. I mean, they might sit on it or do something to it. Cats seem pretty tough. It seems like I wouldn't. People always say cats have 9 lives. I wouldn't say that, but they are pretty tough when it comes to kids playing with them. They seem to be able to handle it pretty well. Chickens are laying well. Thankfully, seems like most chickens are laying good. Once it warmed up, they started laying again. Yeah, So this is Medina Farms. Do you sell chicks from your chickens that you're raising, or do you those rare chickens you're raising? My wife, she wants to get those black chickens, and I can't remember their names. They're all black, and but I looked at the price of them and decided, well, I think we'll pass for now. They're too expensive. The ones I saw a pair sell a hen and a rooster for $700. That's a lot of money for two black chickens. I'm not sure. The neighbors actually, there's a neighbor we have 2 houses down that actually has a few of the black ones. They said maybe they'll raise chicks, but for me, the chicken doesn't have to be black. I kind of like a white chicken too. I think my favorites are the Barred Rocks or the Wyandottes, the gray and black mixed ones. The all-purpose chickens that lay a nice on egg, and so you still can eat them too. Yeah, they said we had some real big storms coming in. Are you still there, Nathan? How'd those storms turn out? My brother Matt said the big storm clouds moving in on Missouri yesterday. Here in Tennessee's having tornadoes. The black ones do cost a lot. I do not so much. I guess you say you do. I'm gathering you said you do. So are you raising, look like you were raising more smaller type chicken? They were, are they more like, to me they look more like the ones you see that in down Central America they use for fighting chickens. Boy, the people down there, the Spanish people, they just love cockfights. I mean, it was every time they'd have a chicken fight, people would just show up. I think it's starting to fall. Cloudy and cold here. Missouri, cloudy and cold. Yeah, it's cool and cloudy here. I wouldn't say it's cold. I mean, we have our weather is a lot warmer than it was. No, I'll tell you that chicken fighting thing, boy, people down there, they just love them chicken fights. Chicken fight would come up and they'd all be, tell me how much money kid on that sharpest crooked size, charges $7. Wow. Yeah, it's that hard to sharpen one if you have them. A lot of them do use machines. They use a set machine and they just go through and they file. I actually used to have one of them machines. They're the same strain. Okay, I see you got the same strain as the fighting ones. The crosscut saw, I had a crosscut saw machine, and it had an arm with a file on it, and you turn a crank, and it would turn that file. It move the saw every time it would file with, and it would push the saw forward, and it would file it with and push the saw forward. And you could set it for all different kinds of crosscut saws, and it was a manually operated a pedal machine. I bought it in Kidron in the auction. I didn't know what it was when I bought it. I think I got it for like $10, and it was a crosscut saw machine, and the arm, when I got it, it didn't have the file on it, but it was actually quite effective. I mean, that arm would move and file the tooth, and then you forward and then file it. You could set it for whatever saw you wanted, and then also it had a separate file for doing the rakers, and then it had a setter on the end where you could set it to set the teeth, so it would do all of them. They're good for hearing chickens like sit. Well, that's one thing I really do need. I need to find a sitting chicken, because our chickens, it seems like we don't have a single chicken that I know that wants to sit. I hear people complaining about that all chickens always want to sit in the egg. Well, it seems like our chickens don't, and I really wish we would, because I like to raise some chicks, but every time that they get a pile of eggs, they don't sit on them. We've had a few over the years that usually what happens, one would start a little bit, and then the kids would get in there get either mess with them or the eggs would get broken, and then it was over. But those smaller type chickens, it's by the Amish, a lot of them have little banty chickens. And those were pretty good sitters, the little banties. We got a few small banties, but they don't seem to sit either. Nice small eggs, just a little light brown egg. One of them is like kind of whitish eggs, isn't it? Oh, my wife must be asleep again. Yeah. Come here. Yeah, it was. I'm hoping this next week we'll have some. Eat them as well. They're small, like size. Yeah. I'm hoping this week we get some sunny weather to dry stuff out. Be real nice to. You're civil on. Well, I'll walk outside a bit. Are you coming? Come on. I hear the seagulls. Well, they really, today they're down in the bottom field. It must be means to dry out a bit. Hey, what are you supposed to do? There's some seagulls up here, but most of them down the bottom field today. Yeah, David. The robin. Well, the cows are out laying in the field. Do you guys have seagulls where you are? Yeah, that's where a blind horse ran through the barn wall. I got some barn fixing to do. Yeah, David. All right. There's the buggy horse. And my draft mare. That horse, I paid $100 for her in an auction when she was little. Didn't turn out that big, but she's not a bad horse. I think she'd make a nice riding horse for somebody. Leghorns. We do some late in the year. Yeah, I want to try to get me some better sitting chickens. I need to do that because it'd be a lot nicer to have some chickens that will sit. Raise your own. There's my last of my hay, so we're getting down to the bottom of it. All right. What are you doing? Now I'm hoping this year when I do my hay, I got picked up 3 of these rakes. I think 2 are John Deere's and one's International. Here Benton's. They rub. And whoever had them ran right over 2 of their tongues too. Yeah, this one, it's been worn a bit, but it's not so bad. I think the biggest problem with this one is there's a crack there's a crack there. Probably deal with that. And the bolt's almost broke. And then a lot of these guards have been. Otherwise, it seems to be in pretty good shape, besides the tongue. Yeah, this one's tongue's bent too. Yeah, the guy who had him, it seemed like he must have ran over his tractor every now and then. If I got backed over that one. Yeah, this one actually doesn't rub that bad. How do you handle staying chickens to keep others from picking them off their nests? With the hands, I may have to this year. Yeah, it'd be nice to get some. I just gotta. I'll probably have to make me a separate coop. Coop we've got can't take too many more chickens. I gotta build me another one. I'm suspecting this one wouldn't take that much to get going pretty good because it needs a little oiling up. But this one actually doesn't rub the guards seem pretty decent on this one. And this one wore so bad that it didn't oil it. This one's got the best guards on it, but it's these right here is all loose. They went out, and I don't know anybody who does barbarians. This was a John Deere. This is a John Deere rake, David. Side delivery rake. Ground driven. Somebody mashed that wheel too. Thought it will still drive. I suppose these all had seats on at one time. Or maybe they used a 4-cart to pull them. They probably used 4 carts. Because it looks like to me like they got the tongues for a 4-car attachment. Didn't drive them direct pulls. There's my favorite chicken. Wyandottes. They're a nice big light colored egg, and those are the ones with blue eggs. My wife likes them. I don't like their faces. That's a coach and rooster. Yeah, so I've been working on getting ready for the house. Right now I've got red pines for the rafters. I need to start cutting the beam lumber. But here are the bottom floor joists, and there's the ceiling joists, some one-by stuff. All I gotta do now is cut the look at that. I have looks like rakes. On the rakes, I mean, just the bearings get worn. That one last one I showed you at John Deere on, the bearings are worn real bad. That's you got, if you can find some of the Amish, they rebuild them. They can rebuild them bearings, and they can operate pretty good. But if they're worn, you don't have anybody to rebuild them. It's pretty hard to. I mean, maybe you could put a pipe in there. This one here, it doesn't seem worn that bad at all. I mean, it's they greased that one, but then the other one, if they didn't grease it, they probably had sand in their field because these came up by that one was up by Rayco, and Rayco is a sandy area, and I suppose sand wore them joints down pretty bad. This one looks like they kept it all decently. I mean, these haven't been used for years, but they were used. I'm gonna have to fire the forge up and straighten this out. He doesn't straighten it out. Call. Okay. We'll go back in the house. Yeah, sorry for all the mess I gotta clean up. I've got lots of jobs I need to do. I just haven't done yet. I have to do. I'm gonna probably plant potatoes back into this section again. We had a really good crop of potatoes out of here. I think it was close to 25, almost 30 buckets out of this section here. That rock pile all down the creek. And it got against the coal. I don't know where you get here. I'd like to get some good coal. I just have a hard time finding blacksmithing coal. It's hard to find. I know a few people have the anthrax coal. It's so hard, it's hard to burn in the forge. Doesn't do well in the forge, at least. Huh? Ja, man slapen. Natuurlijk. So, yeah, if on those rakes, I only really need one of them, but it just happened the guy had three of them. He offered all three of them to me for $75 each. Well, $25 each. I couldn't pass that up, so I was like, yeah, I'll take all three of them. I mean, why would you not? It's cool. So where can you get a hold of that really easy? I wish I could get some for the forge because it makes a whole lot. It cokes up better and you can keep a better heat. Good deal. Bituminous coal. Yeah, I'd like to get a hold of some of that coal, but the thing is they've made it very hard to get coal up here. I mean, it's like they're regulating. I don't know they're regulating it or they're just not selling it. They say back in the day you used to be able to buy it at the hardware store, but they don't carry it anymore. Last time I just ordered it, couldn't find it anywhere. I was using charcoal too for the forge. Had lots of slack in it. That was which state are you in again? I forgot. Sorry, my memory is failed me on that. I mean, I don't know where the nearest coal mine would be up here. As far as I know, right in this area there isn't any, but West Virginia. Oh, okay, West Virginia. Yeah, that does have some good coal down there. I think actually I ordered my coal from either Kentucky or some down there, either in the south. I think it was southeastern Kentucky. That's where it came from. That makes a good foraging coal coming out of southeastern Kentucky somewhere. But expensive. I think it was like $18 a bag for a 25-pound bag. If you do a lot of foraging, I guess the idealist way would be to use charcoal if you had a lot of wood and just use charcoal. It's harder to use charcoal, but you can do it. It works. I mean, now that my David's getting big enough, he might be able to turn the 200 for a ton last winter. That'd be 200 ton, 2,000 pounds. It's $100, $100. That's not bad, really. No, wait. 100. $10 100. It's not bad, really. It's a lot cheaper than what I had to pay for it. But, I suppose down there you probably, like you said, buy it in bulk. It'd be a lot cheaper. They say if you really run out of coal, where the old train yards used to bring the coal in for the power plant, someone told me that if you go over to the old train where the railroad has a spur that come off to bring coal to the power plant back in the day, they say in that yard underneath the gravel is lots of coal. It's been over the years dropped down, and they barely covered it with gravel. But if you really need coal, you could go and take that gravel off the top and dig down and get some coal out of there. So I guess in a serious emergency, it would be a place to go get it. Is at the old power plant where they used to make the coal power. It's not going anymore, but it used to be. It used to be in the back of the day. What was that?
A pin.
I don't think it's a pin. I don't know what it is.
It's off a pipe.
Found a pipe of some kind. Don't know what it is. Well, does anybody have any questions or anything you want to talk about? Like coal without slacking, because the slack is dust when you burn it in the house. True. Yeah. Oh. No, Mom does not want you right now. Come on. Says Anna. Says Anna. You see Anna? No. Well, yeah, it's if you have any questions, I'll try to answer. You sucking your thumb. Hey, David, come here. Well, I will. If nobody asks any questions, I will. See. Don't see any questions coming up. I think I'll take care. I'll let you go for now. Hope to see you next Saturday.
David.